Yeah.
Oh, Dave. Oh, yes. How you doing?
It's great. It's great that finally week 9. I finally get to get on. I appreciate it.
All right, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Electric Fantasy Football Podcast. I am your host, the Electric One, and today is week 3 of having a special guest host on the show. My special guest today is on this episode for multiple reasons. If you guys have ever been to a Gale trade show, you know him as Dave Trade Show Guy, and he's also very good friends with the 2 league members that I have in this room right now. I would like to welcome my special guest host today, Dave Kurkjian.
Got it.
Nailed it.
Do it together?
Yeah, we all gotta do it together. All right, here's the thing. After you shoot it, you're not allowed to take a drink of anything else for like 2 minutes, okay? Don't reach for your beer. Don't reach for a bite of food, okay? Take it, sit in it, enjoy it. This is a big moment in the Chris life right here.
I feel like I'm just going backwards.
You got it. All right, ready? Go. Sit in it. Sit in it. Wait for it.
He's really cool. Well, it's kind of like super pepperminty cinnamon schnapps and hot sauce or something. I'm not getting very saucy.
Do you get any grapefruit?
Yeah. No.
No grapefruit?
I get grapefruit skin from that than I do from that. I mean, it doesn't taste good, let's be honest.
Chris was a champ. He did a good... Some people do this.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, I got the burning sensation, which reminded me of the hot sauce we had at your place.
That's an STD.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, Dave? Thanks for coming, man. This is cool because the 4 of us haven't been in the same room ever.
Ever.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dave,
because the time that Doug went to the trade show, that was in New Orleans, and Chris was there, but I wasn't there.
Yeah. Dave,
Well, last time I saw Doug, he had a kickstand in his pocket. I think.
that's right. Dave, was that a night? That was a good night, man.
That was a
That was a good
fantastic night.
I was so jealous because I think I had a softball or something or wrestling. I don't know what it was, but like you guys were FaceTiming me from Bourbon Street. I'm like, come on, guys. I'm already jealous enough.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, Dave. Thanks for joining us today. I think this package that we have going today is going to be awesome. How long have you been setting up booths for Shannon?
Oh,
and
boy.
Gale?
Probably about 25 years. Yeah.
Wow.
I remember that the first one I set up was in New Orleans, and at the time Kathy Young was running the booths, and Shannon was her assistant. And so New Orleans was the first one. Started doing it there, and never stopped. Never looked back, and it's just been wonderful. Everybody at Gale has just been so welcoming. Meeting all you guys, hanging out with you guys, just having a blast. And everybody just welcoming me with open arms. It's just been fantastic. What a great ride.
Yeah, and I've honestly had the pleasure of meeting you through the trade shows. Thanks to Chris for sending me on that trade show or whatever. But do you want to break some breaking news for people that don't know that it might be at the Gale Trade Show in New Orleans in January? Or you want to say something, or are you going to be there?
Who, me?
Yeah,
absolutely. Oh yeah, I'm.
You're first booth since 2019. Is it early 2020 or is it late 2019?
It was early. I think it was Nashville. Flying home from Nashville.
February of 2020. That was fun. That was a fun trip.
Yeah. That was a great trip. Yeah, and that was it. As soon as I got off the plane, I got a phone call saying, yeah, shows have been canceled, and it was pretty scary. Pretty scary to hear that. And it was 2 years out, and unfortunately, I got out of the trade shows and started working another job, and it's been great. But I do miss the trade shows, and got a phone call from Shannon about a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, asking me, said, "Hey, are you free in January?" And my job kind of slows down in December, January, February. I said, absolutely, no problem. And she's like, "Are you willing to come to New Orleans?" And didn't even think twice about it. 2, 3. I'm so looking forward to it. It's seeing you guys there, and wishing Dougie was going to be there, but
there's still time. There's still time for a plane ticket, Doug.
No, it's I'll my spirit be with you guys.
You know what we'll do, Doug? We'll bring the kickstand with us. That's what we'll do.
See, there you go. I get that.
Doug will be getting the FaceTimes this go around.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it's I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm happy. I'm very happy. So
that's awesome, man. It's gonna be so fun to see you again, because I haven't seen you since like February 2020, and a lot has changed since February 2020 in both our lives. So we got a lot to catch up on. So we'll save that for when we're in person. But I want to mention the 2 other people in this room formally. They have both been on the podcast already. They are both members of the Fantasy League, and they are both currently in the playoffs if the season ended today. Because I say today because there's a huge last week of fantasy football coming up. We'll get into that in a second, but like to bring in Doug Hansen and Chris Michela. How you guys doing?
Good, man. Thank you.
Welcome back. I see Chris a lot. Doug, don't really see you as much as I would like, obviously.
Thank you.
That's thank God for Zoom. Like I said, putting all 4 of us in this room. And I guess should we just talk about fantasy football first, because that is probably what we're going to talk about the least on this podcast, because Dave's not in our league and he's not going to know what we're talking about. But the thing about Dave is, Dave, you are very knowledgeable. You were telling us before we started recording, before we started the show, how long you've been doing fantasy football.
I've been watching your podcast, and I'll tell you, I've been in a league, and I'm dating myself. I've been in a league almost 30 years, and we go back to, we didn't get the stats from the computer. We would have to go to the newspaper and get them out of newspaper. And every single game, it was tedious, but it was awesome.
So I'll throw that clip in so everyone can see the history of your fantasy football. But just talk about your season right now. I know you're playing fantasy. I know you're a gambler. We text every now and then on see what lines we're going to do this week and blah, 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 blah. So how many leagues are you in this year, and how are your teams doing?
I'm in 2 leagues right now. And both of them are, one's 30 years old and one is 25 years old. The one league I'm pretty bad in, and it's been consistent. Let's just say that I've had the first pick overall for the past maybe 8 or 9 years.
So obviously, if you come in last place, you go first.
Yeah.
Is it a huge dynasty league?
We play in a keeper league, so both leagues are three-player keeper leagues. So basically what the dynamic is there is that you want to build your future, and you want to hang on to the guys that are the future of that team.
But you draft like the Lions.
Oh yeah. Or I could say the Bears too, so.
Yeah, the Bears, exactly.
besides a Justin Fields, God bless. But yeah, it's it's been terrible. And and you know what it is that I wait last minute. I don't
Yeah.
research as much as I should, and then I just go off the cuff. So and off my cuff means not a good squad.
Dave,
But,
who's your worst pick for the past 5 years that you come on, somebody just
He picked Jonathan Taylor this year. He's probably having a bad year. Did you take him?
No,
He's probably kept them.
I've had Nick Chubb for a couple years, and he's been on and off.
yeah,
And,
all right.
it's been so disappointing. I come up with a decent squad, and then I start to make a run, and then all of a sudden I get injuries, and
No,
and then guys don't start underperforming, and it just goes south from there. I this year I'm second in the league, and I should have beat the last place team this year, this week, but I lost Lamar Jackson, and he got knocked out first quarter, got me 0 points, and I lost by 3 measly points because of that.
Oh.
So, it's just been ongoing like that, and it's really it's a killer sometimes. So yeah,
Yeah, so 30-year experience playing fantasy football, and just the people that don't know, Dave is born and raised from Chicago, so he's a big Chicago guy. We have a lot to get into. I'm saving that. I'm saving that for the main event. We're gonna do a little Detroit Chicago fun segment. I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys though, but talk about the fantasy football season. So. Right now, Doug is in 5th place. Michela is in 6th place. 6 teams make the playoffs. So Chris is playing Tom Tom has something to play for because he wants that first round bye. Chris, you win, you get in.
Yeah, good luck.
And you could possibly knock Steve out. And then Doug's playing Steve. So then if Doug wins, then he knocks Steve out, and then Chris slides in, and even Chris Haynes can still get in if Kenny loses. So there's so many scenarios right now. I do not want Kenny to make the playoffs.
Well, I'm not going to help you out this week. I hate to break it to you, but my team is not looking good here in this matchup.
I hate to say it, but Kenny's playing Skalski, and Skalski's team. I mean, I beat Skalski last week pretty badly. So, I mean, there's a lot on the line here. Let's just look at the matchups. We're going to start with Lemoyne playing Michela. Chris, you are favored to lose by
30?
14 points, 120 to 106. Do you give yourself a chance to win this game?
If I got to tell you, Lions got to be down on the 1 yard line, and Williams has just got to be bowling this week if I got a chance, because there's nobody left to pick.
Like he did.
Like he's done every game this year?
Yeah, exactly.
I got to tell you, I love running back by committee, but we're getting a little bit too ingrained in our backfield here with 4 guys going every week. It's a bit much. I
keeping
like
them fresh. Keeping them fresh for that playoff hunt. Which
yeah,
we'll get into.
I gotta I can't. What's his name? The behind third guy. They've been liking Reynolds. I think they've been liking.
Reynolds is out. It's Jackson.
Oh, Jackson, yeah. So Jackson's been getting those carries down low. They trust him down by the goal line, and so I don't give myself much of a chance. I give myself a 40% chance.
I will say this: if the Lions are within 5 yards and Jamal Williams does not have a touchdown yet, he's gonna get at least 2 opportunities out of possibly. Maybe even 3 opportunities, because Campbell likes to go for it on 4th down. So it's like, I think he's going to get more than 8 points for you.
Williams at the 5, and he'll take it in for a touchdown. Finally, the Lions get in the end zone. It's their first touchdown since October.
So he
needs 30. He needs to be like 25-30 this week. I think, if I'm going to take this, because my
Doug,
quarterback.
listen to Chris, listen to the first place team's quarterback and 2 running backs, right? Jalen Hurts, Christian McCaffrey, and Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah. You tell Lemoyne, yeah. He fucking
That's 60 points right there. They're projected.
I forgot he has McCaffrey, and also I'm looking at
He's got CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Smith
Oh,
as his receivers. He's loaded.
Why haven't we kicked him out of the league yet? No, I'm just kidding.
Nice, Chris.
It's true.
Chris Skalski has the most points scored against anybody. That's not a good stat to have.
Oh,
most
yeah.
most
scored against him.
Yes, most points against. That's something I always shine in. Being lucky and Irish. But
everybody steps up against Doug usually, but this year it's Skalski.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Chris, what percentage do you give yourself to win this week?
Well, I'm sitting here looking at a goose egg at tight end right now. So
he's got you have Tyler Higbee going. How many points is he going to get for you tonight? I mean, there's
another
only 2
goose
minutes in
egg,
the
man,
game.
just like last week.
There's 2 minutes into the game.
I don't care.
You have Wolford throwing to him, so
yeah, I don't know.
Be a lot of high-scoring games this week.
I hope so. I honestly 40%, Eric, to win. Sorry guys, but I told you I was a 500 team, and that's about where I'm going to end up this year.
A quick side question regarding today, because the Rams are playing the Raiders right now. It's 2 minutes into the game. What are the chances we see Baker Mayfield today? He is active for this game. He's been on the team for less than 48 hours.
He's going to play. He's going to play a few plays today for sure.
What do you think, Dave? Do you think he's going to play?
He's been such a questionable quarterback. I mean, really, that's a tough call.
10, Mayfield to the end zone to Jefferson. Is that possible? Touchdown. This is impossible.
It really is.
He didn't say, is he a good quarterback? He says, will he play today? And the question is, so
if the Rams are down, if the Rams are down 14-0 at halftime, what do you have to lose?
Well, Wolford's hurt, so he's playing hurt. So one hit, they don't have a choice. He's got to go in. So.
Yeah. All right, Doug.
Yeah.
Let's go. We're going to you.
Now
we have Team Fancy. Team Fancy 115.
I'm so fancy. You already know.
The Waterford Rebels 111 is projection. So you're chasing 4 on the line going into this week. Your top scorers projected are Gino,
which
St.
is
Brown.
He's questionable. I have 3 quarterbacks, but
and then you also have that's it. Those are your 2 top getters. And you have Saquon with projected 17. So that's a solid top 3 for this week. And Seattle's playing Carolina, man. You definitely want Gino to play that game.
Yeah, I know exactly. Even though he's questionable, I was trying to read what that's about, but
they're in trouble this week because if K9 doesn't play, Walker and Gino don't play. Seattle's got to keep winning because the Detroit Lions are on their tails. For your opponent this week, what's going to be real? It's going to come down to the Lions game. You want to know why? Because he has Cousins and Justin Jefferson going.
Oh, geez.
Playing against our Detroit Lions in Detroit, which we'll get into more in a second here. That's going to be his big, and he's also got Mixon, who put up 60 points earlier this year in 1 week. So
that would be a rule change. Did I ever tell you about that?
Max points? No.
You can't play players against the Lions. So you're not drafting players in the in the north and shit.
So you can only draft from 16 teams. There's 32 teams, right? Or is there 30?
Yeah, 32. Yeah,
there's 32. So, and they play 16 teams a year. Oh no, they don't, because they play one team. They played 3 teams twice, so that's 6. So they play 10 teams a year.
Yeah, so you'd have these extra buys. You go,
So
son of a gun, I can't play anybody against the Lions.
I was listening to the radio though earlier today, and with Mixon coming off an injury, they say he might split his carries with Pirine, so you may be okay there because if he only gets, isn't it that the right guy? Yeah.
Perrine,
So Pirine, whatever, Pirine, whatever.
Nice.
But they're saying like they're probably going to do like, because he's got actually better yards after catch and after carry. So they say they might rest Mixon because they're going to need him longer term. So you might be all right, Doug.
And I like Saquon against Philly too. I think
Thanks,
he's gonna
Dave. No, he's been solid, man. He is just.
He's been he's number 5 ranked running back this year.
Yeah, he had a couple off weeks. Yep.
Yeah. Like against our Lions. There's another Lions.
I know. He got fucking
you know what's terrible about playing in 2 leagues is that, when you're fighting for 5 points from a guy.
Yeah.
In the other league, he's got the same guy, and you're chasing 3. So it's like, it happens more often than not, and it's really aggravating. I think I want to get out of the one league because just for that matter. I mean, just for that sake, because it's terrible. I hate it.
That's how I always used to be. But I'm in 2 leagues now, but they're very different from each other. So it's all good. But Dougie, what's your percentage of winning this week? This is massive.
Yeah, it's
you control your own destiny here.
I do fucking look at those percentages. I hate that shit. Here we go. He's at 53%.
Yeah. You win? No, I'm asking you. I'm not asking what this generated stats are.
I don't shit. I don't. It probably is based around Cousins.
Yep.
You like that?
And Jefferson, right? If that goes poorly, which I'll pray on.
You trust Jeff Okudah to shut down Justin Jefferson? He already did it once this year.
I was going to say, Doug, you need Cousins to have an Aaron Rodgers day at Ford Field.
Thank you.
It's going to be so loud in there, man.
Well put.
It's going to be so hard to play there as a opposing team. It's going to be wild. Next Campbell will be biting kneecaps.
All right, and so this team's going to be built on. We're going to kick you in the teeth. All right. And when you punch us back, we're going to smile at you. And when you knock us down, we're going to get up. And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off. All right. And we're going to stand up. And then it's going to take 2 more shots to knock us down. All right. And on the way up, we're going to take your other kneecap and we're going to get up. And then it's going to take 3 shots to get us down. And when we do, we're going to take another hunk out of you. Before long, we're going to be the last one standing.
We're making a run, baby. We're making a run.
Kneecaps.
Doug, do you win this week? Yes or no?
I say.
Come on, Doug. Throw it out there. Yeah, baby.
If I had to bet something on it, I'm looking around for something valuable.
The 3 wise men behind you.
3 wise men.
3 wise men say no. No.
I'd say no, sir.
Both you guys say no. So this next question might be mute then. If you had to pick right now, who do you think you'll play in the championship game? So say you guys do win this week. Who do you think is going to make it to the finals with you?
Shit. Well, Tom.
Who do you think has the best team?
That's right. I mean,
I'll say Al.
I was going to say Al too. I mean, as much as Tom's up there, I think Al's,
I despise them both equally. So it's
I'm with you.
All right. So you're saying Al is the leader right now over Tom to be in the championship against one of you fine gentlemen. All right, that's cool. Yes. That's cool. That's cool. Because you could be like the last podcast and they just picked each other.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
I mean, we got 3 teams.
Look at you. You sounded disappointed.
We got 3 teams at 8 and 5. So and Larry is up there battling.
Late season, Larry can still come first.
Larry is making a run, but I still think Al's got the advantage over the other 2, right?
Dave, Larry, first-year fantasy footballer. He's clinched a playoff spot, and I'm in dead last.
I can see that. I can see
Yeah.
that. Larry's a baller. Larry's a baller.
Yeah. It's those mini helmets.
I know. It's
Like,
good
I love
juju.
sports. Like, I
Yeah.
love
It
sports.
is, man. It's like Magic 8-Ball when he's drafting.
Yeah, right. I'm bringing my Magic 8-Ball next time.
Would have helped me out this year, I'm telling you.
But you got to look at a guy like Derrick Henry though too. I mean, he's outperforming himself big time this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no one. I mean, who would have thought?
Good point.
So you got to look at guys like that are really stepping up now. And
Well, that's
solely winning games for you.
Yeah.
that was Williams the first 3-4 weeks I played him, because with everybody else out, he was putting up 20-30 points. So
That if I had to vote, that's the best value pick of the draft, and I made fun of you when you picked him.
Yes.
I remember that, Doug. I was like,
Yeah.
Look at that. Swift is a first round pick, and you're gonna take his backup in round 7 or whatever you took him.
I know.
Yeah.
Now look at him.
Nope.
Always take a lion, baby. At least one guy.
Durability, man, at running back.
And I got Doug, you got St. Brown, right?
Yeah, he came back.
For sakes, man.
He's
that
so
guy.
good. He's
He's so good. He is.
Yeah.
He's so good.
All right. Well, since fantasy football talk is over, we're going to go on to the next segment of the show. But before we do, I want to give a huge shout out to my colleague who gifted me this mug today. I'm going to do my best to show it. It says the Electric Podcast, and it has season 1, September 2022. That's when it was established. I'm going to keep this going. And there's my picture with me, my microphone. So thank you so much to Lisa. I'm enjoying my Zevia.
I got a Zevia myself.
Yeah. What flavor you got?
I got the dreaded cola.
Ooh, I went with
And
grape.
what I do is I mix it with a little blackberry soda, and it's delicious.
Ooh,
This guy.
that's the call. he's got a whole department over there.
Got a shaker glass too, or what?
I actually have my Siesta Key oyster.
Oh man, those are some pictures, buddy.
Yeah.
I love when you go on those vacations. Makes me jealous. Happy for you at the same time.
Well, what are you gonna do?
Beautiful.
All right, so this next segment, I thought of it today. It's going to be called "Like It, Love It, Leave It." So I'm going to name 5 different kind of like facts or what's going on this week with sports or this year with sports. And we're going to do a round table, kind of like I did the last podcast. And you're just going to say you like it, which you dig it, but you're not too confident yet. You love it, which would be like you'd bet on this game if it's a game, or you love like the prediction or whatever it is. And then leave it means no, you don't want to touch that game, or you do not believe the statement that I just said. All right, pretty easy, pretty self-explanatory. We're going to go in a circle. I'm going to start with my co-host, and then we're all going to answer. We're all going to go around and answer the same one. Number 1, Dave. Jalen Hurts will win the NFC MVP.
I'm gonna leave that. A lot of.
Who's your contender over him right now?
Boy, there's so many.
It's just offense. He's on the best team in football. Actually, I shouldn't be saying anything because I'm going to answer this too. So you're leaving it, but you don't have somebody that can come to mind that you're like, there's no Aaron Rodgers this year. There's no Tom Brady this year.
No,
Jamal Williams.
Come back to me because there's so many that there's so many that I just love. I actually do. I'm a huge Derrick Henry fan right now. I really am, because the guy is just out. I mean, just outplaying everybody's predictions. He's just came out of nowhere, and it's just
the amount of carries he gets every year as a running back. If you get them out of, like Le'Veon Bell, look at him. He tore it up for 2-3 years, but he was carrying the ball 30-35 times a game.
Yeah.
And Henry's doing that, but he's playing a lot longer than
Yeah.
He gets hurt, but I didn't think there was a way in hell he would come back last year, and he did.
Neither did I. And neither did I. And that's what makes him such a special player, just to do that, come back and be as strong as he is. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that one on the table. I'm not a big. I'm kind of iffy on Jalen Hurts.
Doug, what about you?
I like it. I hate him. I hate when you play him. Jesus, man.
Just the scrambling quarterbacks always screw the Lions over.
And then sprinkle in some RPO, and it's like it's hard to. I mean,
so
yeah.
You like it as in you can see him winning it?
Yeah. Especially if Philly finishes out the year strong. Yeah, it's over.
Chris, what about you?
I would leave it as well. And the reason I would, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I mean, I've watched, I'm not a big Vikings fan, but Jefferson has just been making catches out of his friggin' mind. And when announcers basically don't know what to say when a guy makes a catch, to me, if the Vikings go, I think he's got something there.
I kind of agree with you on that one too.
He needs a better quarterback. Sorry.
Well, but I think, Doug, to your point,
are you kidding me?
Hey, that's how we've won all year, team, right? Hey, you held them to 20 points, man. Yes, you gave us a chance at the end.
I think it makes it that much. I think that
Go to my jersey.
Exactly. Eric, turn your mic off.
I think that backs up my point, though, because I think, he doesn't have to make those crazy catches if he has,
Yeah, right.
A lot of times those balls are up there and he's got to go get them. And, I mean, hey, he's catching the pass. Cousins is getting the yards, right? But.
Hey, you like that?
The guy, that's just my thinking. If they can go, if Vikings can keep rolling, I think he's got a good shot. So what do you think?
So, I'll give you guys this stat. I like it. I think if the season ended today, he would win. His team is the best team in football, and he's putting up unreal stats. Like he's throwing for 350 yards and rushing for 100. Like when was the last time we've seen that? Like he just beat Michael Vick's record. And he's not turning the ball over, and he's avoiding that big hit. So he's staying healthy because if he goes down, the Eagles go down. You see what AJ Brown is doing, like that connection, and like he single-handedly beat his old team last weekend, and like that was a huge statement to show, like, look what happens when I have a quarterback, and that's not Ryan Tannehill. No offense to Ryan Tannehill, but he's not a young Jalen Hurts who knows AJ Brown so well. So I'm gonna like it. All right, number 2, Dougie, you get to start. This is perfect for you.
No.
So what we've been talking about a lot today, the Raiders are up 7-0, by the way. What we've been talking a lot on this podcast today, and the buzz around the Motor City, is the Minnesota Vikings are traveling to Ford Field to take on our Detroit Lions. The 10-2 Vikings are an underdog by 2 points against a 5-7 Lions team.
That's crazy.
Doug, do you like that? Do you love that? Or do you leave that? That means this game. Do you think the Lions will cover 2 points against?
I'm not a bettor. I got married and doubled down and had kids, but no, I wouldn't touch that. That is weird. I can't believe that number. They're 10-2. Oh my God. They think the Lions are somebody now. I don't know. That's cool. I'd leave it.
Chris, what about you?
So I like it only because and nothing against the last game. I mean, the Jaguars stink, so you can't really use last week. But again, what they did against the Packers, I consider, and again, I'm not trying to slight Cousins here, but I think Cousins and Rodgers this year are kind of close in the same I don't know the percentages of QBR rating and everything this year, but
You like that? You like that?
I feel like if the Lions can have the same game they had against Green Bay against the Vikings, then I think we stand a chance to cover those 2 points, win the game actually. So
I am gonna. This is hard for me, right?
You're betting this game.
I
You're
told
a
myself,
Vikings fan too, though, aren't you?
yeah. So Vikings are my number 2 team, and I know Doug hates that because it's in interdivision. But I told myself I'm not going to bet this game. I just want to sit down and watch, without that investment. I can bet other games that I'm not going to even watch, not even worry about that. But at the same time, it's like I have a lot invested in this game, and it's like, I mean, the Lions have to win this game. Like they really, really do. I think I honestly think the Lions have a better team, and I know they have a better offense, and it's going to come down to that defense. And I watched Minnesota almost blow 3-score lead to the Jets last week at home. Their defense, I guess, bailed them out, but it was 1st and goal into 1. It was just pretty bad play calling by the Jets. I'm going to leave it. Because we saw what happened last time we played Minnesota. It came down to like the last possession. The Lions are at home. Like we said, it is going to be electric at Ford Field. So I'm going to leave it for now, but if you talk to me tomorrow, my answer will probably change. What about you, Dave?
You know what? I'm going to leave it as well. The key factor here is they need to shut down Jefferson, and I know they shut him down in what was it, week 3? The Lions shut him down big time.
Yep.
And if they can do that, and if Goff can hit St. Brown for some TDs, it's and some good yardage, I think it's going to be. Like I said, this game's up for grabs here. And that line has changed big time. It's been going up, down, up, down. It started at what? I think it started at 5, didn't it?
I thought it was -1 Lions to start.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. Or +1 Vikings on +1 Lions.
I saw it at 2.5, and I think it's back to 1. But like I said, if the Lions defense can shut down Jefferson, I think they got a great shot at winning this. They're turning it around, and they look to be the better team right now. But like you said, ask me tomorrow, and things might change. But right now, I'll leave it on the table.
Depends on which Viking team shows up,
But that's the thing. Good teams find a way to win a big game, and Cousins has won big games. This isn't a primetime game. He's terrible in primetime games. This isn't a primetime game. It's in his home state. He just bought a golf course. He owns a golf course in Michigan now. So it's like, like he's gonna have his family there. He plays really good at Ford Field. I remember going to watch him when he was with Washington. Yep, that was that year. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm excited for Sunday. I'm nervous.
There is,
yeah, I like to say the Lions have nothing to lose. I think they do now. Like the hype's there, and all the analysts I follow, which scares me, they all have Lions winning this game. Yeah.
I hope they knock Cousins out.
Cousins backup is
hey, Eric, quit beating around the bush. All right. What the
Cousins backup is our old backup who's on Hard Knocks. What was his name?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
David
that'd be funny.
It is not.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
David Blow.
Yeah,
Blow,
David Blow.
excuse me.
Blow.
He's going to come in and he'll end up being an MVP candidate as he leads the Vikings to a 50-3 win over the Lions.
A different era.
David Blau. Chris, you kind of look like him, man. You with the beard?
That's a compliment. He's like 24.
Yeah. It's that was kind of a cool part of the whole HBO thing. Was that with
his wife being an Olympic?
Yeah, exactly.
Runner or hurdler.
Sure.
Yeah. All right, third one. Chris, you're up first.
Oh shit.
I don't know if you heard about this, but Aaron Judge just signed a deal with the Yankees for 9 years, $360 million. Aaron Judge is worth $360 million. Like it, love it, or leave it.
Leave it, because I think those contracts are stupid.
He is one of the best seasons in baseball history last year.
Yeah, Miggy did too when he got paid, and where's he been the last? It's too long of a contract. Shorter.
That's why they do it though, because they want the stability. Because his next 3 or 4 years are going to be like Miggy was. He was Triple Crown winner and all that. So like you're going to get
sign him for 5 and pay him half of that, and he can go somewhere else and get the other half somewhere else. I mean, I think these guys.
He doesn't want that though.
You know my theory on these athletes. Like, people were all pissed at Calvin Johnson when he retired after his second contract or whatever it was. God bless. Take your money and go do something where you're not getting beat up all the time. Go have a life, God bless. I mean, I'm not going to fault him for making that money. They're the idiots that are paying him. But no, I wouldn't want my team to do something like that. That's just my opinion. So no.
Yeah, for me, I think he's the second best player in baseball. I think Mike Trout is still the GOAT. The stuff that he does, and if that guy could just stay healthy, he would be shattering every record. He's very likable, So is Aaron Judge. He's very likable with like the crowd and fans. I'm gonna like it. It's a shit ton of money. Don't get me wrong, but we're in the year 2022, and he's playing for the most profitable baseball franchise ever.
Yeah,
I said, they have to win. There's no rebuilding in the Bronx. Like there's no such thing as a rebuild. So I'm gonna like it. Dave, sorry, go ahead, Chris.
I was just gonna say, yeah, and I'm not faulting him for making that money. I mean, I'm more faulting the team for paying that kind of money, but good for him. God bless.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, you know what? I kind of like it too. I mean, after breaking Maris's record, he's the face of the Yankees. I mean, and that's just it. He is representing them. And yeah, Chris, you got a great point. The money that is getting paid to these athletes in baseball is just absolutely atrocious. I mean, it's really insane. Is he worth the money? You can talk about this forever, but the fact is that they're paying him it. He is a very likable guy. He is their face. He is their face of their franchise for years to come. I think he's just going to get better and better, to be honest with you. So I like it. If they have the money to spend, God bless them. Let them do it. So I like it.
Doug?
I guess I like it if you're a big market city, but baseball's dying, man. All right. In the smaller markets, baseball's dying. When you see the average attendance, I seen a big show on it. It's just crazy. Again, the Brewers, the Tigers, the blah, blah, blahs. Yeah, the Yankees, the Yankees, Red Sox, and Dodgers, yes, they're all pulling in the crowds. But the other teams are like, and you can't afford these huge salaries. Your team doesn't compete, right? Whatever.
Moneyball, baby.
I'll stop there. I'm on another podcast about this tomorrow. All right.
Just so you guys know, Aaron Judge is 30, so he'll be 38, 39 when his contract's up. So How old's Miggy?
I don't know, man. He's older than that, I think, isn't he? 40 something now.
Remember when Prince Fielder
He's 39.
came to the
He's
Tigers?
39.
Yeah, so he'll be 40 next year.
That did really well. He hit like 6 home runs for us.
Yeah, right.
The New York Jets are traveling to Buffalo to take on the Bills. The Bills are favored to win by 10 points. Like it, love it, or leave it?
I like it. I think the Bills are going to cover. You got a healthy Josh Allen. James Cook can catch out of that backfield. He's another weapon. I think they're going to destroy the Jets. I'm not a big Mike White fan, even though he's thrown two back-to-back 300-yard games. He can't get it into the end zone. He can't get it into the end zone. You can throw 500 yards, but if you can't get it into the end zone, it doesn't mean anything.
We know all about that.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Not
We got Jamal Williams, baby.
Yeah, so I like it. I think the Bills are going to cover. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think Josh Allen's going to tear them apart.
Dougie?
I agree with Dave. I like it. Love it. I don't like the Bills are just too good. They're going to cover most spreads. But yeah. So,
Chris?
Nothing else to add. Like it. I agree with everything.
I'm liking it I'm taking the Jets and the points.
whoa. Eric, wait a minute. Step away from the edge.
How hurt is Josh Allen still?
The Bills he is much healthier now too. So I mean,
is Von Miller back?
I don't know about that.
I don't know.
Is this on a parlay? This isn't a straight up bet, right?
I'll probably throw the Jets in a teaser and hope they can cover 16.5, but I'll probably do that. Yeah. All right. So the last one for this segment is I will start off, and it is Michigan will win the national championship. I am saying leave it. I think they're going to make the national championship, but I think they're going to lose to Georgia by 10 points.
When you beat the Georgia Bulldogs, you're going to feel a bulldog.
Bye.
Dave?
Oh, man. You know what? I'm a big J.J. McCarthy fan because he actually went to my kid's high school.
No, wow.
Yeah. Well, his freshman, sophomore, junior year, he won a championship. But then he went to
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking. The international
in Florida because of COVID, because everybody shut down and they stayed open, and he went there, won them a championship. The kid's incredible, and he's the most humble kid, nicest kid. You know, I'd see all these little kids in the stands after the high school game, and he'd spend 10-15 minutes just giving them high fives. And you know, he's not the pretentious kid. He's very humbled. He's a solid player. But you know, Eric had a great point going up against Georgia. Georgia's just such a tough team. So I like it until that game comes upon us, and then we'll see what happens. We'll see who's healthy, and let's see who's not, and then I can make a better assessment there. But I like it because I like JJ.
Chris?
So as much as I would love to love it. I would love to like it. You know, we had 2 tight ends leave, all being probably the biggest effect there going into the transfer portal. So he probably, I don't think he's allowed to play, right? So once they're in the portal, they're done with the team they're with. So yes, we got Schoonmaker, but you know, it's Georgia. It's an SEC team, Big Ten schools, SEC, you know, we're not quite there yet.
They still got to beat TCU though.
Yeah.
We got it. Well, right. We got to get through that. But I mean, you know, you can't really, you know, there was an easy way to take down Ohio this year. Their quarterback can't play when he's pressured. And he had no game when he was pressured. So I'm going to have to go with whatever the dislike or whatever. They're not going to win it all.
I would. Doug, what about you?
I like it, but yeah, it's not gonna. I'm glad Michigan's back up on top. I enjoyed the state run.
That's not what I asked.
What'd you say?
I didn't mention Michigan State.
Michigan State is still the big boy on the block in the state of Michigan. A shocking ending to this rivalry game. And just when it looked like Michigan had made a number of statements regarding what's going on in this state, the Big Ten race, its position nationally, this happens. Mark D'Antonio said the only important thing is to win. We haven't been winning pretty, but we keep finding a way to win.
There's a hat behind me. That's about it.
No, I know. It's just funny. I was at Ohio State, the Ohio State Michigan game. Guy redid his garage, one of those garage bars. It was a lot of fun. But it's funny, there was a lot of Michigan State fans there.
I would personally love to see Ohio State Michigan national championship. I would love to see that rematch. Everybody,
that'd be great.
The game.
Yeah,
I'd love it because if Harbaugh can win that game, he's the guy. He's the guy. If you beat Ohio State back-to-back years and beat them twice in the same year, that's never been done.
I guess my bigger question would be is how bad are they going to get throttled by Georgia? Because I mean
think they'll handle TCU. That's not an issue. I don't think that's an issue at all.
I saw
not
the
for
stat.
Michigan, but I'm just curious how Ohio State after the defeat then goes to Georgia and what that looks like, right? Do they beat up Georgia and make it, they still lose, but they beat them up a lot or what,
Right.
I mean, I know Bess won't be watching this podcast, but I know she's rooting for the dog, so I'll watch what I say. But
I saw this stat on social media today that Stenson, the quarterback for Georgia, and Lamar Jackson are the same age.
Oh wow!
Can you believe that? And Lamar Jackson won the Heisman in 2016, and the Georgia quarterback is a Heisman candidate in 2022.
Is he a 7-year senior or what do we got going?
The transferring and the graduate credits. I think he's a 6 year.
Years.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, because Lamar left his first.
He's a grown man.
Yeah, he's a grown man.
But he's one of those guys that he's one of those guys that are mature enough. If you draft him, you hopefully you can start him and he can win you some games.
He looks good. I mean, he looks good out there for sure.
All right, cool. And that's the end of that segment, which brings us to the main event. And I call this one, it's called Take a Swing. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to ask you guys some questions. And then it's basically going to be about Detroit and Chicago. But I'm going to save that for the very end. Since we were talking about teams that can beat certain teams and which teams are real enough, I want you to quickly tell me, you don't really have to explain, who's going to be in the AFC Championship and NFC Championship, who's going to be in the Super Bowl, and who is your winner right now. Dave.
Oh man. Oh boy. Well, I'll be honest with you. Dallas is a big contender for me. I mean, I'm not a huge Dallas fan, but they are going to they've been mopping up. I mean, they're gonna crush this week again. I like Buffalo, so I'm liking Buffalo. I'm liking Dallas.
Buffalo, Dallas. Who wins? Who wins?
Boy, I'm gonna have to go Dallas by 3.
Jerry Jones gets to the Super Bowl.
It's going to be a high-scoring game, but I think Dallas is going to pull it off.
All right, I'm going to keep track of this too, so we're going to come back to him once it happens. Doug, what you got?
Eagles and Chiefs
in the Super Bowl. But who do you have the Eagles beating?
The Eagles have beaten the let's say the 49ers. Probably beat Dallas. I hate that Dallas is good again. Ugh. Bugs me.
So you're going Philly beats the 49ers and the Bills beat the Chiefs.
Yep.
All right. And then you have the Bills beating the Eagles in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Wow, that'd be
All
a
right.
good Super Bowl. Bills, Eagles.
Chris, what do you got?
And I'm thinking Buffalo and the Bengals going against each other. I think I think Buffalo goes on to the Super Bowl against the Eagles, who beat the Seahawks.
I like that.
Yeah, so I got Buffalo Eagles in the Super Bowl, and I'm going to go Buffalo.
All right, so same as Doug.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh Christ!
You like that? You like that? I like that.
I'm turning off my computer.
I was waiting for that one.
Can somebody mute Eric? No.
The Minnesota Vikings and the Eagles in the NFC Championship.
Cousins is going to take him, huh?
Cousins going to win MVP. And then it's hard to bet. It's hard to bet against Mahomes, man.
I don't know.
I'm going Bengals, Chiefs again, but Chiefs get the job done. And Chiefs 49er. No, Chiefs Vikings Super Bowl.
Wow.
Kirk Cousins gets his Super Bowl ring. He gets his MVP, and he retires.
Like that! Yeah! Just like that!
He's already got like 6 kids.
I'm going to make a statement right here. If the Vikings make it to the Super Bowl, I'm buying a damn jersey.
Yeah,
I will buy a Cousins jersey if they make it that far.
Making it or winning it. Making it or winning it.
I'm just saying if they even get to the Super Bowl, I will buy a Cousins jersey.
Okay.
I'm throwing a Super
When
Bowl
they don't
party this year.
win, I will burn it in my fire pit.
Well, I would. Oh, I get it. All right. And the last part of the show.
Yeah, buddy. Oh, hell. We might need a little break for. Oh, Eric can't.
Geez.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure I have the videos of us doing Malort together. If I do, I'm going to enter that into this.
Yeah, buddy.
I think Sean has that. I'm going to ask him for it. All right. So the last part of the show, I'm gonna name 2 teams, and you have to tell me who's gonna win a championship first. Number 1, the Detroit Red Wings or the Chicago Blackhawks?
Oh, the Red Wings.
Red Wings.
Here's the thing. The Hawks have at least 4 or 5 more years before they're even contenders. They've just totally dismantled that whole team, and besides Taves and Kane, and they're on their way, and they're on their way out.
They're getting up there.
As Detroit is a younger squad, I think they're a little ahead of the Hawks by about a year or 2. So I think they're going to be contenders before the Hawks, but it's going to be close. But I think the Wings will be there first.
I think we all agree. I was watching the Wings Tuesday night, and I'm looking at their the roster. I go, I only know like 2 or 3 of these guys. I mean, I don't really watch hockey anymore, but I'm also used to the Wings having those names that you just look,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they got, they have Bertuzzi and Larkin. That's the 2 guys that I really know. And then it's there's not like your Stevie Y anymore. There's not your Lidstrom. There's not your Chris Draper and your Larry Murphy. And just these guys have just been on the team for so long. They don't have that anymore, So it's, but it's cool because they're younger. And I mean, Steve Y is doing what he wanted to do. He's GM of his team, and he's turning them around. So,
yeah.
Same with the Blackhawks too, though. I mean, Taves and Kane, and Connor Murphy, but that's about it. You start going into all the youngsters now, and it's just crazy. You go to a game, it's like, holy cow, you don't recognize any of these kids. So,
Right.
but hopefully they can produce. Hopefully both teams can produce and have their great matchups like they've once had.
Exactly.
next one. This is going to be, I already know, Detroit Pistons or Chicago Bulls.
Pistons.
Doug's going Pistons.
Yeah.
Attaboy, Dougie. Worst team in basketball.
I don't see that. I see the Bulls.
What's going on with benching Levine, and what's going on with that? Does he want out, or?
To be honest with you, I really don't follow him much. But I from hearing through the grapevines, I think
Lonzo Ball coming back anytime soon?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Who knows what's going on there? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't follow him much, so I don't know all the ins and outs. But yeah, I think Levine is not happy. Let's just say that.
Chris, I'm guessing you don't watch much basketball, but I mean, you listen, to Larry and I
talk about it. Less about professional basketball. Do you want to talk about the Detroit pickleball?
We'll talk about football in a second here, and then you'll get all excited.
Yeah, flip a coin. At this point, I don't know anything about the. I know a little.
For me, it's like what the Pistons are building is phenomenal, but it's like how long do you give Dwayne Casey? He's already been there. I can't believe it's been like 6-7 years, and he's known for rebuilding a team, but he's never known for taking them, past that. I mean, he got fired when he won the NBA championship with the Raptors, and they let him go. And I thought that was a weird thing, but they knew that he was on his way out. So it's Cade Cunningham might be out for the year. I'm going to say the Pistons will be good in 4 years. So see what the Bulls do before then. But I'm guessing the Bulls they already have high contracts. So I'm guessing the Bulls have a better opportunity to win a championship before the Pistons do.
Either
Tigers or Cubbies? Cubbies just made a huge signing. Was it Bellinger?
Yeah, and they're still looking to make more moves. I kind of like the way where they're going. I mean, they're making moves, and they're spending money, which is good. That's a key thing. But again, give them a couple, 2, 3, 4 more years, and get all the T's crossed, I's dotted, and I think they're going to be right back up there. They're going to be contenders.
So this Cody Bellinger signing, this guy's batting .203 in the last 2 years, and he's about to make $18 million. Josh Reddick came out on his Twitter today. He was ex-base outfielder for the A's and stuff. He goes, damn, if I would have known that all I had to do was hit 200 and strike out 180 times and to make $20 million, I would have started doing that. So that's a contract. That's like a contract. Like you just hope to God he hits you 30 home runs somehow,
Well, who knows the problems he was having, at LA and and how they were treating him and everything. So there could have been some dissension there, and he's at a new club now, so he can turn things around. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt and see what he does. He could come around, start hitting 280, 300, pop some homers out, and now all of a sudden he's a superstar. So
you taking the Cubs over the Tigers?
Are they gonna where in the World Series?
The sooner to win a World Series. Who will win a World Series?
Win a World Series. I know nothing about the Tigers, so
we got a new GM, so I would take your Cubs right now because we don't know what's going to happen until our GM gets in and gets a few years under his belt, right? So he's got to dig out of the Alex Avila years. Not Alex Avila, that's his son, but the Avila years. So I'm going Cubs. Not to cut you off, sorry, Dave, but I feel strongly about this that they will be there before we are.
Okay.
Doug?
Cubs.
Yeah,
I love Bear Cubs.
What? I'm probably going Cubs too, which I can't believe to say this, but Sean used to always make fun of Cubs fans, and now he's like going to he went to 30 games last year. He's got Cubs merch. Yeah, he's wearing fucking the blue hat all the fucking time, with the C on it.
I remember the Cubs mantra, like in the 70s and 80s, Cubs lose.
Yeah, right.
And then last but not least, Detroit Lions or Chicago Bears? Super Bowl. Who wins the Super Bowl first?
You going with me?
Whoever wants to say it.
I'll tell you what. I like the Bears.
Bullshit. Eric, really?
Here's the thing. Justin Fields, number one. Number two, next year, they've got a bunch of picks and a lot of salary cap opened up. So with this kid just playing out of his ass and, get a couple more offensive linemen in there, get a couple more, their receivers are young. Get an experienced receiver in there.
Do you trust Fields to throw the ball to win you a game?
Absolutely. I do. And especially if David Montgomery can up his game like he's starting to do again. If this kid can run, he's going to, and Fields is superstar runner. They just got to do the proper play calling. If they can utilize him as the quarterback that he is, I think they just have to. Here's the thing, though. The McCaskies and spending their money wisely don't go hand in hand. They're going to have all this cap space. They're going to have all these draft picks. So I'm going to take the Bears, basing it on, next year's probability. So come back to me next year and then I'll give you the real answer. Right now, with all the money that they have wide open and the picks and Justin Fields, I like the Bears.
Talk about playing well, being wide open, and having a lot of picks. I'm going with the Lions. The Lions, the Lions are going to have a top 3 pick next year. That's probably almost guaranteed. They're on the up and up. They're missing a few pieces. I said this to Chris today in the office that the hype is real in Detroit, and everyone's jumping on the bandwagon. If you're a big time free agent and you've seen the way Dan Campbell coaches his team and the way he handles his business, a lot of these big names are going to want to play for Dan Campbell. And if the Lions are going to be, I told Chris this year, if they make the playoffs, good for them. If they do make the playoffs, their expectations for next year is going to be win the NFC North. They're going to probably be the favorite to win the NFC North next year if that happens. So I'm going Lions. Doug, I think I know your answer, buddy.
Yeah, I'm going Lions. Cut Dave's feed. Justin Fields, no, he is good. That was a good game. I enjoyed that. I know what you're saying, Dave, but MCDC. Yeah, he's got everybody buying in. So I don't know.
Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I'm only going to go Lions because I think to your point, I think the players love Campbell. They love playing for Campbell. The Fords have money. They have top-notch facilities. You're indoors. You have to season, right? Fans are all bought in. So you come here and win a Super Bowl, you'll never be more regaled anywhere. You could do anything in this town, right? They probably give you buildings and land and, so, well, I mean, look, right. So it's been so long. So I think, we get pieces on defense that we need. If Goff can play one more year like he played this year.
Yeah.
Or like he's playing this year so far. I like Justin Fields, but those mobile quarterbacks make me nervous, and it's the NFL, and, he's playing outside in the cold. God love him. But, this is not the South where, it's warm so he's going to got to be playing injured or potentially hurt in the cold weather and stuff. It's a different animal. I mean, listen, your stadium's outdoors, we're indoors. So and I'm speaking not from our experience, but I just know when I see those animals out there playing in the snow like that, and that freezing temperature, their skin is purple, but they don't want to wear a shirt because they're a man,
right.
I don't know.
We will be moving
Arlington.
shortly.
Yeah.
But will it be closed or will it be an open?
Closed.
Oh, it's got to be close. It's got to be close. They want a Super Bowl. The Bears want the Chicago wants a Super Bowl so bad.
So I think that then does bode in your favor. Now I don't know when that's going to be built and how old Justin Fields will be. Is it 3 couple years down the road?
Yeah, I'm gonna say probably 3 years down the road, but I mean,
Yeah, so
it's gonna be. It's not just gonna be a stadium. They've got so much land over there that it's gonna be it's gonna be a village.
an entertainment district.
Oh yeah,
Basically.
it's gonna be everything, and then I mean they spent the money. There's enough land there to put 3 stadiums on and have plenty of parking, and they've got a train system.
Beautiful.
They've got stops right there, highways right there. So it's a win-win for the Bears. It really is. It's just a question of when they're going to start breaking ground, and when they're going to make the move.
We know how slow that can be. But, I'm speaking from our hockey stadium that just got built, which we won't discuss.
And we got a young
They
defense.
play basketball
too.
there too.
We got a young defense too. Our 2 backs are got knocked out, but the young guys are stepping up and playing halfway decent. So I mean, I like our young defense too, and let them mature a little bit more. And defenses win Super Bowls too. So.
Oh yeah, no, there's no doubt there, no doubt. No doubt.
Cool, guys. Yep, that was it. A quick update. The Raiders are up 13-3, and Baker Mayfield is in the game.
Wow.
Yeah.
There it is.
Wow, that's
There
cool.
it is, baby.
Yeah.
The only thing he's missing is Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't remind me. That's right. I used to have Cooper Kupp.
Yes, you did. Sorry, Doug.
Jesus, man.
First
No
round
wonder
pick.
I'm fucking. Sorry. You can get that out. No wonder I'm losing. I go, who did I used to have? This team of mine was better after I released him,
He's on the IR. I mean,
he's
no reason
gone.
for him to play again this year.
Yeah, at first they said 4 weeks, and I'm going, right. Whatever.
Season's over. No point in playing him.
Yeah. Chris, thanks for that salt in the wound.
No, not your season. I meant their season. There's no point in
No,
rushing
I
it,
know.
right?
No, but just I forgot about Cooper Kupp.
Well, you wonder if a receiver like that can help regenerate a career, right? I mean, Mayfield starts pitching it to Kupp. He's getting,
Right.
300 yards a game, right? So
Yeah, good point, man.
I mean, Cooper Kupp's still the best
goes a
receiver in
long
the
way.
league.
Oh, best. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
And it's amazing how one player can define a team too.
Yeah, right. Yep.
100%.
All right. I want to end on this because I know you guys are itching for this, everyone, but probably Doug and I. Dave, what does Croatia have to do to win the World Cup? Here's your platform.
Here's the thing. 4 years ago, when they made it to the final, there was no way they were supposed to beat England. No way. And they were actually, I think they were down 1-0 against England too. But they persevered. They came back. They worked hard and beat England. And it was one of the greatest feelings in the world. And I think they can do that again to Brazil. I've got to keep my mind open because there have been so many upsets in this World Cup this year. I mean, just from the round of 16 to Morocco beating Spain for God's sakes. I mean, that's just insane. So, as the saying goes, any team can win on any given day. So if they play hard, if they don't let a goal get them down, like they didn't against Japan, they came back, they scored, and their goalie played phenomenal in the PKs. I really hope they can do it just for my family's sake too, because well, it's huge. My wife is 100% Croatian.
No way. Wow.
Her parents are immigrants right off the boat. So we had a lot of Croatian backing here, and it's just it's special right now. So if they can do it tomorrow, it's gonna be really crazy here. So we got a bunch of I got a couple people coming over in the morning, and the boys are taking off half a day of school to stay and watch.
Father
the
of the
games.
year, baby.
Yeah. So
Love it.
I'm gonna leave it open, and I hope they can just play their hearts out and win that way.
Who do you if they win? Who do you think they're gonna play in the championship? Can they play England again?
Yeah, they could. They could play them in the championship, and that would be unbelievable.
Yeah,
that'd be fun to watch.
Mbappe is just out of his mind right now.
Yeah,
guy is crazy.
Yeah, he is.
He is. Hell of a strike. But like you say, doesn't matter any given day on the pitch, right? So
we got to beat Brazil, and then we probably going to have to beat Argentina. So in order to do that, if we could do that, we've got a great shot.
I'll tell you, the goalie, the confidence that guy has, the swagger he has, that's 50% of it right there.
Wow.
So,
and their center defender, the guy with the mask on, he's their up and coming star, and he's just been playing phenomenal. Playing absolutely phenomenal. So my hat's off to Croatia, and 100% I'm going to be on their bandwagon tomorrow. It's just going to be a crazy day.
Yes, sir. Eric and I will be watching.
Yeah. So that's a good way to end the show. I'm going to be watching that game tomorrow. So hopefully
I'm good at foosball.
Doug's good at foosball.
And it's soccer.
Yeah, right. Nice, man.
All right, guys. I appreciate you guys jumping on. Dave, awesome seeing you, man, and we'll see you
Dave,
in a little bit more than a month, buddy.
Hey guys, thanks for having me here. This has been wonderful. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. Dougie, keep that kickstand in your pocket.
Yeah, no. Yeah, exactly. Well said, buddy.
and we'll do a couple Chicago handshakes.
Yeah, we will.
That's cool.
Right.
Listen,
yeah.
we're going to see you in January, but we're going to be in your hometown in June. So hell yeah, we're doing some handshakes.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it, guys.
All right,
Thanks,
buddy.
guys.
Say it.